Hey everyone, Pepperville 2 Gaming here. Going to do a new game plus run here in Elden Ring, and wanted to kind of show you something really quick here. Was able to get the Platinum Trophy in this game. Was able to get that in June. The last three that I needed, I pretty much was able. You can get all of the trophies on one playthrough, and it's actually in regular new game. Just the regular, version of the game, and you don't have to go to New Game Plus, is what I'm trying to say. And so the PS5 actually made it to where you cannot download your save to a USB anymore. So what I did was I disabled the automatic cloud upload save and just saved mine when I was at the final boss, and I was able to reload that and do that final boss fight 3 times to get the 3 endings. So it's kind of a way that you can do it in quote-unquote one playthrough. New Game Plus, got to tell you, I am like destroying these guys one hit. Go ahead and show you some of my, well, let me defeat this guy real quick so I don't die. But I'll show you my equipment. I got a max weapon here. It is a plus 25 hammer that I decided to go with, and do have Radahn's armor there. I think it just kind of looks cool. The messages always kind of crack me up. Oh, he took 2 hits. So something I noticed, I will go ahead and show you, like I said, the equipment here. I do have the plus 25 heavy brick hammer. Does 259 plus 574. Did chose that because it was a pretty good scaling as far as strength, so I went a strength build this first time. Radahn's armor and helm, and then I have the guardian bracers. And then the talismans, was able to find a couple that have the +2 attribute to it, so kind of glad. And then I'll show you my status as well. I do have an unusually high. I know everybody sometimes makes fun of me for how much I put into my HP, so I do have 60 in vigor, and that little bit of extra usually helps me because, like I said, I'm kind of a tank kind of strength build. So to each their own. That is my personal take on it. So this is the first boss that we will encounter. So we're going to traverse the mist. Anytime you see this, you're pretty much going to be fighting an enemy, either a mini boss or an actual boss. So let's see how I do. Oh wow. Okay, so 2 hits and he is gone. All right. I like what I'm seeing. So typically, New Game Plus, the enemies do have more health and they do more damage. But you also basically get to take your in-game character. I could have swore, well, maybe it was back there. There's actually an item. Let me see if that was back there, because I could have swore there was actually an item back there. Maybe it's over here. Yeah, we came in over here, and then there's actually... Oh, this might have been where we were able to see through the other side. No door ahead. These messages kind of crack me up, so... You do have to be wary, though. A lot of times you'll see it's pretty low percentage, but still check them anyway. The messages will a lot of times say hidden path ahead, or illusionary wall, and you're sitting there hitting it, and it's not. So yeah, see, that's the item I was actually trying to get earlier. I may have to come back and try to see how I can get that item. I'm sure I've gotten most of the pretty much items in the game, so I'm not really overly worried about it. But so the grace, you do actually rediscover the graces in New Game Plus. The map, however, as I was showing, is still 100% open, so there's no fog. Don't have to get the map pieces anymore. So the map is pretty much 100% there in New Game Plus, which is kind of nice. So the grace points do allow you to fast travel. They allow you to rest. They allow you to level up. So there's quite a few things that you can actually do at a grace point, which is kind of nice. There's actually some story element to the game as well. As you rest, one of the characters will actually talk to you as well. And then pretty much go out. This is basically the first open area of the game, the Lingrave. Quite a bit of stuff to do in this area. There is the first boss, which is Margit, and you actually will be able to find some shackles. I'll show you where to find those here in a second.
Tarnished, are we? Come to the lands between for the Elden Ring? Of course you have. No shame in it. Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless. Without guidance, without the strength of runes, and without an invitation to the Round Table Hold, you are fated, it seems, to die in obscurity.
So these are one of the very few friendly people in the game. Most of the people you encounter in this game are enemies. You can actually kill every NPC in the game, and usually they will leave some item. It's usually not worth fighting, and they are usually pretty tough. So if you're going to fight somebody that is friendly, just know that they are going to give you a bit of run for your money. So the summoning pool there, you want to go ahead and activate that. You can actually summon people within a wide range. Now, as of, I read something on this, but as of patch 1.06, they did actually update that so that the summon range is actually wider. So these animals here, the thin beast bones and the sliver of meat, these are actually crafting materials that you can use later. You can actually build some daggers. You can build some different items in there. With that was kind of added in Elden Ring. They've never really had a crafting system per se in the Dark Souls series. So I'm going to go ahead and just see if I can whack on this guy really quick. I've already got him down to half health. Hell yeah. Oh, he jumped. Okay. Gotcha. Definitely much easier on New Game Plus for sure. So I got golden halberd there, or halberd, and that is a weapon. They give you quite a few bit of weapons. Kind of just depends on what kind of style you choose to kind of want to play with. I feel like you get a little bit of souls. Or whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're called in Elden Ring now, but basically that's your leveling up material. I don't even know. It's probably going to take me... I wouldn't surprise... I can't remember. It's been a little while since I played this game, so it's probably, I would say, at least 200,000 for me to level up, but I'll go ahead and let's check it out in here. Now, Santa Claus in here is actually the first vendor that you'll come across. So Lost Grace, if you rest at the Grace site, now this was a new introduction into the game as well. You can actually pass the time. So there are certain enemies or certain things that you can only do at night or during the day, vice versa. So eventually, you can alter your garments, you can do all things like that, but eventually you'll be able to level up. So you'll actually have to progress the story a little bit in here to be able to do that. So smithing stone is actually a material that you use to upgrade your weapon.
You're a tarnished. I can see it. And I can also see that you're not after my throat. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods.
And you can talk to him. This would be kind of some optional dialogue if you kind of want to do that. You can also sell some of your items through here as well. Some of the things that he has throughout here. I think I've already purchased a lot of his cookbooks. He actually gives you the torch if you so choose. I might go ahead and just grab one of these because I don't remember how many I have. Costs 200 runes, so that's what I was meant to say. So in the previous games they were souls, but this game it's actually ruins, or runes I should say. Telescope, I don't remember that. I've used it in a few games, but it's not inherently very useful, to be honest with you. You can actually, again, you can kill these guys. Usually when you see this type of character, there's several of them scattered throughout the Elden Ring kind of map. They do have some items there for you. This is kind of a neat feature that they added in Elden Ring. This has been out since it came out, but you can kind of see this points you to the next grace, so it kind of tells you a little bit of where to go. And since I'm feeling like overpowered and very brave, I'm gonna go ahead and like defeat every one of these. Not quick enough. Not quick enough. So you can farm these guys for various things. You can actually get their armor, their weapons. You can kind of get different things. It's kind of random on what will actually drop. I'm kind of a run and gun kind of a guy, so I have no interest in sneaking around to kill these guys, especially on New Game Plus. I'm just going to run at them. Let them know I'm here. Hey! So we got some throwing knives there, some bolts. These materia, the Roa fruit, will actually... You can actually feed that. Later on, you'll get a mount. Oh, there's a guy like following me. I hit much harder, so I'll trade hits with you all day long. Like I said, you can actually, I'm going to go ahead and get these thin beast bones actually kind of help later on when you're trying to craft certain materials. I'm going to go ahead and get this guy too. So that's the hefty beast bone. So this is the first area. There's actually some treasure chests. There's actually a map fragment. If you have not actually, it's actually kind of right where I'm pointing. There's like a little stone. I'll show you there in just a second. So if you've just started playing the game and you're not on New Game Plus, this would be one of the areas that you can actually unlock most of the map. I feel like I'm not even trying to roll anymore. I don't even care. I'm so overpowered. It's awesome. I can't even imagine. I don't know what the max is. I know in previous versions of this game, you could basically go to like new game. I think it's like plus. I don't know. It's like you can keep going. And I want to say like the maximum level is something absolutely ridiculous in previous games, like 500 and something. So I don't know. I don't know what the actual max level in this game is, but I'm sure it is very, very high. I was able to stagger him there. Oh, he still got... Oh, okay. I thought he had a little bit of health there. I was able to stagger him, so he was able to kind of move his shield out of the way just a little bit. Typically, these actually have some chests on the back of them. Later on, you'll find two giants that are pulling these, and if you defeat them, you can actually get the treasure on the back of it, and it's usually worth getting. There is a knight in this area. Those usually give you a little bit of trouble. They're one of the harder enemies just because of their ability to kind of quickly hit you, kind of block, so on and so forth. So your timing has to be a little better with those. So I'm going to drag just one. I aggroed both of them. I was hoping to get just one of them, but you know what? I'm going to run as fast as I can, grab this guy. You got to be careful because that guy with the horn will actually alert everybody to your position. I just dragged the whole map onto me. Awesome. All right, bring it on, guys. Bring it on. More the merrier. I've got quite a bit of stamina, so I can do quite a bit of rolls early on this, which is kind of nice. That was a twofer. All right, 2 for 1. Bring it on. Okay, so that flask there that I just used, that is your actual healing potions. You can actually upgrade that throughout the game. I believe the max is 14, and you basically get these seeds from these golden trees throughout the game. Pretty easy to find to get up to max. A couple of them are kind of hidden, maybe out of the way, but for the most part, they're pretty easy to find. And these butterflies, surprisingly, are actually materials too that you saw there. So this is the first map fragment that I was saying that you get earlier. So you grab this, and that will actually unlock a portion of the map there. So grab that, and then I'll show you. There's actually a treasure chest in here as well. And I don't remember. There might have been a treasure chest on this one. I can't remember. Yeah, okay. Flail, okay. I'm gonna check that other one here just as I loop back around. There might have been something on that other one that I did not quite open. Here's more of those materials, the butterflies. Typically you can make some torches and things like that. Ooh. So these are one of the animals, the wolves over here. So the deer and the boar that I actually fought earlier typically don't fight back. These wolves actually do, so you got to kind of be careful of that. And then there's some other items over here that are kind of helpful. Always good to grab this stuff, in my personal opinion. No item ahead. Now there are some stairs over here that lead down to another area. I gotta get my bearings real quick, and I gotta remember where that is. And then that'll lead to another chest that will have some. This is another kind of an interesting thing down here that they added. These little skulls, if they're glowing, they actually have some golden runes, and you basically use those to get a bunch more runes. Like you basically consume that item, and it'll give you like 500 runes or 2,500 runes. And later on, they've got some pretty good like mega runes, I guess, if you want to call them, and they'll give you some pretty good amounts. I think it's like some of them will give you like 25, 50,000 of them, which is awesome, especially when you're trying to level up. So another item over here. Sometimes there's these items right here that are just kind of on these dead guys, kind of sprinkled throughout, and that is a rune fragment ×3. Typically not a lot of items in those barrels that you crush, but not. I know other games like Diablo, sometimes there'll be items and things like that in there, but in this game, typically not. I remember there's some stairs around here. I just got to remember and find out where those were. Here they are. So we go down here, and there will be a chest. I'm glad not all doors are like that, where you got to like lift them up from the bottom. That would be a pain in the butt. So search treasure chest, and that is the Ashes of War Storm of Stomp that we just found. Oh, and I was going to check this other. I don't remember if both of these had chests at the end of them. These little, I don't know what you would call them, carriages. I don't know if I can jump. I can't jump that wall. And should, oh, it's at the front actually on this one. Okay. There we go. There's a couple ways you can go from here. You can actually go out. and kind of explore a little bit, there's actually a cave down there that have some shackles that help you in the further boss fight over here that we're going to be headed toward here in a little bit. It's actually good to go ahead and get those. They're actually in a cave nearby. And it is actually this cave right here, this Murkwater cave. So I'm going to go ahead. You can actually place a beacon. And that'll help kind of guide you. You can see that it points all the way up in the sky. It's super, super useful to kind of help you going where you need to go. And these shackles, like I said, they're not necessary. It's not a required item, but definitely extremely helpful. What it does is in the middle of this boss fight, when you go to fight this boss, if you use the shackles, and you can only use them twice, but it basically paralyzes him, and then you can get some free hits off so he can't actually hit you. It's kind of, like I said, you have to be very careful, though, because limited use. It would be nice if you could use it a little more, but here's what it is. There's a guy. Let me see. Okay, here's the horse. Oh, bad timing. There we go. All right. I'm just going to use my quick attack. You can actually dismount them from their horse, and they can still be alive, so you have to be a little bit careful with that. And I believe this is one of those. Yeah, here's another glowing skull over here. It gives you a little bit of runes. They are one time. If you reload the game or come back to this area, they don't respawn, so just know that. Let's see if I can get this guy again. Run, do my attack. Oh man, awesome. I think he hit me right as I did my attack, which kind of prevented me from doing it, but that's okay. And typically in these little areas, there are some enemies. Let me go ahead and heal up real quick. There are some enemies, but usually there's a treasure chest or some items, whatever. Usually worth getting. I was able to stagger him. Oh, he got me good on that one. I was hoping to get 3 attacks off. Oh, man. You know what? Run away. All right, let me heal real quick. And then... there we go. I don't know how I missed him. Okay. I'm going to try to get this guy on the horse here real quick. I think he must have heard all the commotion that was going on and decided to help his comrades in the slowest possible way he could. It's like... yeah. I'm going to slowly trot in here. Okay, he just jumped over me. He like ran into the wall. Alright, let me... man, I am missing all... okay. There we go. Okay, so I have 14 of the healing potions left. Now, if you get kind of low, you can rest at the graces, and they will reset your number of potions. But the trade-off, unfortunately, is that it does reset the area, and you will have to fight all of the enemies again. So we did get an armorer's cookbook there. And as you can see in the bottom corner there, it did say, so not only do I have 14 flasks, but I have a plus 12 to my flask. And that is actually helpful as far as the amount of healing that it does per flask. So as you kind of get more health in the game... I can't remember. I thought they gave you some feathers or something like that. That's why I was trying to kill them. But yeah, as you level up and get more health in the game, the flasks start to kind of do a little bit less actual healing. So it's always good to get that maxed out, and then you basically use less flasks throughout the game. So it's kind of helpful. The way that we are going, this is where I put the marker. We actually have to go down and around into the kind of swampy area. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Dark Souls 3 when you go into that area where all the crabs and there's a lot. It's like really slow moving area. That's kind of what we are headed to right now. So I think there is more guys up here, if I remember correctly, right by this bridge. And then we're actually going to basically go down and around. And then these usually have some pretty good either materials or something, an Ash of War in this particular one. There's another. We're in a standoff. I thought we were just going to stare each other down. There we go. Got my timing down. Oh, he's... So like I said, you can actually dismount them. I thought I had him. He had... Oh, he still has a little bit. How in the world? No, thank you. Grab this item up here. You don't really want to... If I remember correctly, I don't think you can make that jump. So I'm going to go ahead and go down. You can go from that area, but I think there's actually a safer way down here, if I remember correctly. I've already got some pretty decent runes. Yeah, we want to go kind of down this way. And while I'm here, let's go ahead and clear out these guys. So this actually usually indicates that there's... that's usually like kind of a mid-save point, if I remember correctly. I think that was what that was. He's like running away. No, come here.
Oi! You there? Could you, Cully? You? Yeah, you there? Stop pretending you can't see me.
It's like an invisible...
Why won't anyone look me in the eye? I'm not that ugly, am I?
Behold attacking... Oh, they... attacking Ed. Alright, we'll grab these 2 items, go back down there. And I got some rune fragments. Those are usually, like I said, they're kind of helpful to... If you're really close to a level before you're fighting a boss or you're at a grace, it's kind of nice to be able to have those and kind of save those up, and then you can kind of usually squeeze out an extra level, so to speak. Now these turtles down... Oh, there's actually these guys as well. These are actually pretty tough enemies. And you have to be careful because this area, they will poison you. And turtle. I'm sure people are like, why are you killing the poor defenseless animals? And I'm like, I need crafting materials. Now there are invaders in this game, and they're human, but these are up ahead. There's going to be a NPC invader that's going to be outlined in red. You'll be able to pretty quickly figure out what I'm talking about here. And we're going to have to fight one of them coming up here. I wish that message... I hate when they do that. They put that message and they're like in the middle of a fight and you're like, ah, and they can't, unless you hit the triangle button, it doesn't go away. There's a lot more of these guys than I remember down here. And one behind me, apparently. Roll through that, and then up ahead, I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the NPC, but there will be an NPC invader. And this is the cave that you will go in to get those shackles. And invaded by Nereus. So in order to get into that cave, you will have to actually fight that NPC. They're normally pretty good. They roll around. They're pretty good fighters. They fight a lot like a human would kind of fight, I guess I would say. So definitely be prepared. Oh, dang. And another one. Are you kidding me? I got invaded by two. Okay. Bring it on. I'm going to go ahead and target him. That might make it easier. If you hit R3, you can actually target. I typically sometimes don't do that. It makes it a little bit easier to roll away from the enemy, in my personal opinion. But got that one. Where is the other invader, though? Oh, the other person actually returned to their world because I killed him. Okay. Gotcha. So I'm going to see if I can... Here's the item crafting, but in my inventory, I'm almost positive I have... I know I bought one, so I should have at least one. Oh, here's my lantern. There we go. I might have put that on my quick slots. I can't remember if I did or not. Oh, and I actually still have the shackles right here, actually. Yep. But I'll go ahead and do the... I'll go ahead and grab the grace anyway. I'm curious how this fight will go. I'm also curious how many people... I'd love to be able to summon somebody and just kind of see how many people are playing on New Game Plus today. Typically, the lantern will make it easier for you to spot on these enemies. But I guess I don't really care as much on New Game Plus because I'm kind of overpowered. And the shackles in the game are in this chest over here. It's going to let me open it. And mushroom. Well, there would be if I had not already had the shackles in my inventory. So. Mini boss in this area, if I remember correctly, or is this the one where Patches shows up? This might be where Patches shows up. Yeah, this is Patches. Okay.
Don't you just help yourself to a man's personal belongings, huh? You scheming little thief. The gods demand repentance. Cough up your coin. All of it. Wait, please. I surrender. White flag and all.
So you can kill him, or you can actually go ahead and talk to him. Once you get him down to a little bit below half health, he'll basically yield to you.
Finally come round, have you? Well, I knew you would. You're a man of reason. True and true.
He actually will be later stages throughout the game as well, and he will sell you different items, so he becomes another vendor, so to speak, if you let him live.
Well, what do you know? You're tarnished, like me. Now, how did I get that wrong? I took you for a demi-human or some such. An innocent mistake, I assure you. Well, water under the bridge. Now we're squared up. How about we play nice from now on?
So you can say some things can't be forgiven or forgive and forget. If you do forgive and forget, he will actually show up later in the game. So.
I'm Patches. Patches the untethered. Tarnished like you, only free-spirited. Nomadic, you might say. Only for now, those retired soldiers turned bandits. They're paying for my gruel. In exchange for my, well, showing them the ropes. But honestly, this looting racket is bloody terrifying. Frankly, I'm ready to wash my hands clean. Maybe set up a legitimate shop. So don't be a stranger. I'll be ready to wheel and deal come next time. Don't forget to pop back for another visit, friend. I'll be ready to wheel and deal come next time.
So he actually doesn't have anything more to sell at that point. Let's see. Grab this cave moss. And then we are ready to get out of this area at this point and fight our first boss, which is Margit. And I'm going to go ahead and fast travel. Pastime, let's see, flasks. Memorize spell. You know what? I don't think I can at this point. I have to go back over here. That's what it was. Okay, so gate front. Yes, travel. Okay. A little rusty. I haven't played since June. So there'll be a mini boss in here. Big guy will drop down. And this area can be a little bit tough just for the fact that you are fighting several different enemies in it, also with this guy as well. So let me get out of here before. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and heal or I die. It's always good to try to, if you can, get these guys over here first. These golden guys actually can give you a little bit of extra material. As you can see, his eyes were like glowing red. Those are also, I think they're called like frenzy. You actually go to a whole town of nothing but frenzied people later on in the game. There we go. Alright. Now it is just me and this guy in here. And these are not too terribly bad. You really just want to kind of go for the ankles. You'll kind of find a bunch of these throughout. They give you some pretty good materials, which is kind of nice too. So. grab these materials while I'm here. I don't think I'm going to really need them, but you never know. Now, if I remember correctly, this guy up here is the one, I think he has a horn, and he'll alert everybody else. So you got to be kind of quick. Now these seeds over here on these trees are what you need to actually level up your flasks. You'll get these golden seeds and you'll be able to upgrade. Now I don't know, to be honest with you, I don't know. I wonder if in New Game Plus you can raise them up. In previous versions of the game you could not. Now if you were happy to miss some in the other game, you could actually use any additional material found in number 2 to get to the max level, but you couldn't go above basically whatever the max happened to be. So this area always cracks me up because it's like wolves just like fell from the sky, like ready to fight. So here's a grace point right here. And there's some materials around this area as well. There's actually a good route whenever you very first play this game. This is one of the areas you want to go to because there is quite a bit of materials, early crafting materials that will be able to let you level up your weapon, and then there's also these stone sword keys as well that will open up certain chests or whatever it may be.
Everyone's been grafted. Everyone who came with me. They crossed the sea for me. They fought for me. Only to have their arms taken, their legs taken, even their heads taken. Taken and stuck to the spider. Did you know, if you're grafted by the spider, you become a chrysalid? It's quite a lark when you think about it.
So everybody that she came with actually basically got in trouble with the spider. What I mean by that is they basically got caught by the spider. Now, a lot of times, this is something that, unless you've played Dark Souls series before, you usually have to talk to these people a couple of times.
And heading to Stormvale Castle, enticed by the one in the white mask, I suppose. Oh, you've come to be one with the spider? Well, that makes us 2 peas in a pod. But I don't have your courage. It's scary, you know, having your arms cut off, or legs, or your head. I want to be like everyone else, but I'm just too scared. I'm nothing but a craven.
Yeah, I didn't come to get my legs cut off, but hey, you do you. So it's what's called exhausting the dialogue, so you just want to keep talking to these NPCs.
Can you take this little one along with you?
And whenever you exhaust the dialogue, so if you only talked to this person one time and just kind of left, you would have never gotten this
The poor thing
ash.
deserves someone braver than myself. And the spirits look rather fondly upon you. It will be glad of your company, I think, the little one. It was a pleasure to see you. Oh, can you pass on a message for me? If you see the little chrysalids in Stormvale Castle, tell them I love them. And that, despite my craven heart, I'm sure I'll be joining their club soon enough. I'm finally getting the hang of this whole pain thing, you know. It was a pleasure to see you.
So at this point we have exhausted the dialogue, so it is repeating. So that's pretty much, you want to do that. You really want to talk to a lot of these NPCs. A lot of times there's quests, there's materials, whatever it may be. You usually want to make sure you fully engage with them to be able to further certain quest lines, whatever it may be. So it's something that's easily missed. Now up here, there are quite a few enemies around this. This road will actually go up and around. I'm going to go ahead and grab these 2 skulls over here. Give me a couple of more golden runes, and I should be able to, at this point in the game, it is much, much more difficult. Are you going to smash their skull? It is much more difficult to kind of level up, so normally, early on in the game, it's not unusual to get, 2, 3, 4 levels every time you kind of beat a boss or you run through an area. At this point, it's going to be a lot more difficult. You may only get 1 level. You may have to wait a couple of areas to be able to do that, so. The leveling up obviously goes... It gets much, much less frequent as the time goes on in this game. So. And like I said, this will actually go up and around. There's a lot of ways to go in this game. This is kind of just the straight path to the first boss. You'll come back here later, and there's some secret paths and things like that that you can take. To get to different areas, or to get to areas faster than you would normally get to them. There's another Ash of War. I believe I have actually most of those, to be honest. I guess you can get them again. I think that's why that other one, when I found it, actually went into my inventory. It had like a little symbol. Oh, man. Yeah, I forgot about that. There's a huge cannon up there. That somebody is shooting at me. You're... Fight me! On my own terms, though. I'm gonna hide. Maybe I can hide over here. He can't... I don't know if he can find me. So we're up to 77,000. I started the game in New Game Plus. I think it was right around 20,000 runes. So got already 50,000. So I'm kind of impressed by that. I want to say it's quite a bit. It may be a couple 100,000 for me to be able to. Gosh, I'm trying to roll and I just don't have that timing down. Oh wow, I am almost dead. I got to get up and around is what I got to do. There we go. Haha. There's just a guy that's operating this. Nothing crazy. You do have to be careful because if I remember correctly, somebody can, if you still leave guys around, somebody can take back over another guy that's still alive, take this over again, this ballista. You want to run up basically as fast as you can. I don't remember if you can take, I wonder if you, I don't, some of these you can actually use in this game. This is not one of them, so. Nobody else can use this. So these blood stains that you see here, these are all people that have died. You can actually see their character kind of appear. Be wary of boss. So there is these summon signs that you can lay down. This is the grace point here for this first boss. There are grace point or summon signs. Usually people can put them near the boss doors. There is an NPC off the top of my head. I can't remember. Is it Sorcerer Rogier? That's okay. That's the name. So I'm gonna examine this summoning pool. And to summon somebody, what you're gonna do whenever this gets done, telling me that the summon pool is active, is you want to go into your inventory and you're going to use, let's go down to where that actually is. You're going to want to use one of these. So this creates the summon sign. This will actually reveal the co-op summon sign. So when I go ahead and reveal that, I imagine, yeah, a whole bunch of these actually came up. So let's go ahead and summon some people. You can summon up to, I believe it's 3 people if I remember correctly. Let's go ahead and, I'm just going to summon as many people as I can. It's 2. Okay, so you can have a max of 3 people in your party. Now they do take just a minute to go ahead and appear, so I usually kind of just wait for the people to actually appear in the game. And then we'll go ahead and fight. What I'm going to do, I have my healing flask. We do want to, somebody's probably got that. I'm going to go ahead and wait and see if somebody else is going to use this, which is target shackles. And then I'm going to go ahead and maybe focus on just doing damage. So where's our... should be one more guy. I'm going to go ahead and go in, though. I'm going to make a run for it. So they'll have to go through that door. We can see him right beyond that. And I'm really unable to summon. So we're only going to have one person. It's fine. The more people you summon, the more health the boss has. So it's kind of a trade-off. Go ahead and heal. I don't want this guy to fight by himself, so... Still got quite a bit of health for New Game Plus, so this is not going to be an easy fight by any means. Got him down to about 25% health there. Oh, he almost... Oh! I thought that was going to fall off the ledge. Oh, man. Good hit. Good hit. All right. He got the final kill. Good job. Thank you, good sir. Thank you, good sir. Now, with the multiplayer there, you can see I summoned somebody for that particular area. You can actually summon somebody. This is one of the first games in the Dark Souls series that really expanded that multiplayer. And you can pretty much multiplayer this entire game. But once you beat a boss, excuse me, you will actually, the person that you summon will go away, as you just saw with that person. So they'll get their souls. They'll get basically half of the number that you get for beating the boss, which is basically incentive for them to help you. So we're up to 123,000, so that was about 50,000 souls for that. So he probably got about 25,000 for that. So a lot of times you'll see people kind of farming if they're trying to level up or something. They'll kind of put their summon sign down. We are now in Stormvale Castle. And you can see on here, as you find these grace points, you will actually be able to fast travel to all of these areas as well. I actually realized I still left my beacon. No, I don't want to travel. I need to remove all markers. Yes. Just kind of helps. Oh, I realized, no, that did not do that. Here, I'm going to zoom in. Remove beacon. It just kind of is annoying as you're playing the game to have that beacon there if you don't really need it anymore. So these grace points, as I was saying earlier, this actually guides you to the main quest. This is where you're supposed to go next. That kind of highlights there the NPC, which is kind of nice. And then this is just kind of the way that you need to go. So the next one, we're going to go up and around. It's nice to be able to see that. There are a lot of these optional, but I highly recommend you do them. They either have materials, they've got all kinds of different things. They're definitely worth going to. Either there's a talisman, there's a weapon, whatever it may be. There's something in these optional areas that are definitely worth checking out. If nothing else, they're good souls or good runes to be able to level up in. So, well, let's see. Once we get inside, there's another grace point, which is kind of weird because we like literally just found one. And there's actually a guy, I think he tells you I feel like he maybe this is a different area. Yeah, because you have to go around the side. So there's a couple areas that you can go down here. This is actually not readily apparent that you can go down there. There's a way that you can go around down there, and then there's a way, and then eventually you'll be able to open this main gate. Very typical of Dark Souls games where you kind of unlock shortcuts, so to speak, so that way as you run through this area you can kind of quickly get through there. I think that's going to do it for this video. Definitely appreciate everyone for watching, and thanks.